I was amazed by the particular storytelling of this opera, which is very different from many other operas that I have done. It's complex, the fact that there is no precise edition of this opera, but you have to create your own musical structure, gives me a bit of freedom. There is something surreal in this story. But at the same time, I try to keep the story very human, to create a portrait of a man with his relation to his past.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You do your movement in his line.
Hoffmann is a poet in real life. He was a poet, he's a German poet, and he will tell the story of the three loves of his life.
He is a man who is alone, left there with his drinking, and treated a little bit like a fool by the others. There is a lot of sadness, of bitterness, of loneliness.
The devil, Lindorf, is trying to interfere in everything he does from the beginning of the opera.
So every time Hoffmann is trying to reach something, the devil arrives to destroy this dream.
Everybody has a light side, a darker side, and I'm the dark side of the soul of Hoffmann. This is the interesting part of our life, the battle between these two different sides of us, yes. And I think, to be honest, the devil side is the more interesting one of us.
Nicklausse is sent as a messenger to be the good side of Hoffmann. But in this production, he takes the shape of a parrot. And so I'm carrying this beautiful parrot everywhere with me, and I become the soul of the parrot. So I sort of have to just try to move it as a bird, which is not so easy. I'm learning.
Hoffmann lives to the fullest, and he feels too much, and he has these big emotions. He dives into believing things and to exploring emotions and adventures and stories. He wants to live in a fantasy.
Thank you so much.
In this production, we go from when Hoffmann is a child in a school, and a young man, and then a mature man. And every episode has a relation with a love story.
It is a very human opera because it explores what is to be a human. And in this production, we can see it more clearly because it's a journey through the life of somebody.
The first time you feel in love, you recognize a special feeling which is called love. And the second moment, he's a young man and more mature, and he really cares for a person. And the third one is when Hoffmann becomes cynic. There is the dark side of love, and you have the bitterness of that. The peculiar thing of this music and this story is that it's a little bit unpredictable, that you jump from one scene to another without being realistic. That's the quality of this composer, to have this very entertaining, surreal, and crazy way of storytelling. It's a huge production and also very complex technically on stage. You have to be really precise with the movement of the set, the props, the lighting cue, the video cue, the special effects. And I'm lucky to have a great team. Eleonora is my assistant in charge of this production. It's a huge work with the chorus and a big cast, a group of dancers, the stilt walker, the ballerinas, the devils. So a world that it's very colorful. This opera, for me, it's about fantasy, imagination, the nostalgic feeling when you have lost something, whether it's love or friendship, then you want to have it back. The loneliness of this man remembering his past and realizing, okay, maybe it's silly, Maybe I'm not a poet, maybe I'm just a loser, but around myself I see these people, I see this fantasy, and they are the things that make me feel alive.